Hi guys, this is Mosh. Welcome back to another one. If you're new here, click on that subscribe button. Today I'm going to be talking about the best apps for investing and trading, and it's apps that I have personal experience with and what I still am using. I'm going to break it down into 6 categories. The first one being apps I use for the news. Second one, company analysis. Third one is brokers that I use. Fourth is going to be wildcards. Fifth, trading. And the 6th category is going to be my crypto apps. It's only going to be specifically about mobile apps and what you can do on a mobile phone. I'm going to talk about other software that you can find online, for example, FinViz. That's for another video. Let's jump into my phone and see my apps. You can see these are all my investing trading apps. We'll start off with one of my favorite news apps. It's Yahoo Finance. Now, what you can do in Yahoo Finance is you can make your own watch list, and it gives you related news to what's based on your watch list. And you can also go onto the news panel, and it gives you all the top news stories that are currently happening around the world. Now, I also use Bloomberg and Reuters. Now, the problem I find with Bloomberg and Reuters, they have a paywall. They give you 1 or 2 free articles per day. Once you've used that up, you have to start paying a monthly fee. But I have them for breaking news, because sometimes one news agency will get a breaking news like 5-10 minutes before the other one. And when I get the notification, that's more than enough for me. Okay, Market Watch, again, is very similar to Reuters and Bloomberg, but it's more specifically geared towards the stock market, whereas the others are generally more business news and overall news. Last but not least is Alpha Trader. It's one of my favorite apps, but again, there's a paywall for premium articles. So if you want to find like in-depth articles about a company, you have to subscribe and sign up to them. But it is one of my favorite in terms of breaking news. Generally, they're very quick. You can also see trending articles, and I think for specifically stock market based app, this is one of the best. The next category is company analysis. The first one, again, Yahoo Finance. This is why I like Yahoo Finance. The news is completely free. You can also find out about a certain company through the app as well. All you have to do is go to search, okay, put in a company. Let's say I recently bought Plug Power. You can also make your own portfolio on this, by the way, as well. So it gives you an overview of the price. So it gives you the chart. It also gives you key stats. So the 52-week high, 52-week low, the market cap, key figures that are important when the earnings report will come out. So 25th of February, I expect Plug Power to shoot up because I think they'll have a strong earning. You can also go to details. And if it's a new company that you don't know much about, okay, it gives you all the fundamental analysis, so the financials, the balance sheets, okay, the holders, so who owns how many shares, is there a lot of insider trading, the options, and it gives you an overview of the company as well, so what the company is about. I think it's a really good app for a good starting point and analysis of a company. The next app that I use quite a lot for analyzing companies is called investing.com app. So if we jump into it, all right, again, it does give you news, but I don't really use it too much for news. What I really use it for is the calendar and the company analysis. So calendar, especially if you're a trader, this gives you key dates on whatever markets you look at. So for me specifically, I only look at the UK and US markets. Whereas if you're into the Euro, the Chinese markets, you can filter that as well. And it gives you key dates, key times for certain events that are happening, which is really, really helpful. You can also create a watch list. So if I go onto my watch list, you can see the companies I've invested in or I keep an eye on. And if I jump into, let's say, Snapchat, okay, again, it gives you an overview, key stats. It also gives you the technical analysis. So what the analysts are saying, if it's a strong buy or strong sell, you can see that as well. You can click on news and it gives you general news about that company. Now, the key thing I really use it for is notifications, because if you look at the earnings or the financials, the app will give you a notification when the earnings come out, which I find really helpful. It also gives you notifications on, for example, job loss data for the US, the housing market for the UK, and it comes as a notification. So very rarely I actually go into the app. This is a really helpful app. Another app that I use is Simply Wall Street. I love this app because I think it makes everything so visual and so clear. So if we jump into this and let's say we search a company, let's say we go to Plug Power. Okay, it gives you an exec summary, so what the company is about. Okay, it gives you key risk and reward. So what's good about the company, what's not so good about the company. And I really like this app. It's so visual. It gives you this snowflake analysis. So dividend, value, future, past, health. Okay, what it's like. The more stretched out, so for example, this is stretched out to the future. So it's saying that it has a lot of potential for growth, this company. Okay. Again, you've got the charts. The key thing I use this for is to analyze the company against the market performance. So if we look at here, this is price volatility versus market. You can see plug and how the whole industry is doing. It also gives you valuations and ratios, and it makes it visual. So it's not giving you numbers. You can actually visually see it and compare it against the industry. So companies that are similar to it and how well it's doing compared to the industry, because I think that's an important analysis to always do. As you can see, it gives a quick snapshot of everything. And I find it really helpful. And you're not reading like massive reports, trying to find out about a company, especially if it's a new company you're not too sure about, don't know much about. This gives you a very, very good overview of everything, especially the fundamental side of it. Next is going to be the brokers that I use. I use Trading 212 and Free Trade for my long-term investing. Now, if you want free shares, Trading 212 will give you up to £100. Free Trade will give you up to £200. All you have to do is sign up using my link in the description box below, deposit £1 and you'll get a free share. I also use IG Trading and Plus 500 for my swing trades. I'm an investor and a trader, so the investments go into Free Trade and Trading 212, and the trading side is on Plus 500 and IG Trading. I did used to use Trading 212 CFD, but it is horrendous, especially the spreads are ridiculous. So if you're using CFD trading on Trading 212, start looking into IG Trading. The spreads are so much better. Next up is my wildcards. The reason why I call it my wildcards, occasionally I'll do a momentum trade. So I'll find a trending stock and go with the flow basically. Not very often, but when I'm feeling the mood for it. So the first one is Stocktwits. If I jump into Stocktwits, okay, this is really helpful because it finds out where the market sentiment is, what people are talking about, which companies are trending. And again, you can make your own portfolio and see what people are saying about that. So if you want a good momentum trade or a penny stock trade, this is probably the place to go. Next one is Reddit. Reddit, excluding Wall Street Bets, I think Wall Street Bets has gone a bit messy now because so many people are signed on. You don't know what's true, what's not. But you can find really good information on Reddit. I actually bought 2 SPACs from Reddit, which I showed in my last video. There's some really great guys on here, especially if you go into a certain subreddit. For example, I'm on the subreddit SPACs, and people do some fantastic analysis of companies and give out certain information that they've found out about that company. So Reddit is a really good place, but always be cautious about what you read on Reddit. Next category is my trading apps. I'm a trader as well, so I use certain apps for trading. The first one I want to talk about is WeBull. WeBull is more about analysis. I actually don't do trading on it because it's not available in the UK to trade off it. One thing I really like about WeBull is they give you level 2 data. So level 1 data is where they just tell you the buy and the sell price and you can see what the spread is. Level 2 data, so if I jump into a company, so let's jump into Alibaba. Okay, it gives you the order book. So it gives you how many shares at what price people are buying and selling at. And this gives you an idea of market sentiment, because if you see a lot of buy orders, okay, and massive amounts, generally that will shift up the price. Whereas if you see there's a lot of sell orders and large number of shares on the seller order side, then the price will probably end up coming down. Next one is TradingView. TradingView is where I do my analysis. So this is the Euro GBP. You've also got stocks as well and indexes, the Dow. So you can see I've done my analysis. Okay, and the really good thing about TradingView is when you do your drawings, when you do your analysis, it stays there, it saves and it updates. You can make notes on it. So sometimes I put my enter and exit points, and it has really good indicators as well. There's so many indicators, much more than any app I've seen before. They also use something called PineScript where you can make your own indicators. I actually made one and I use it fairly often. Next up is my crypto apps. There's two apps that I use. I use Coinbase and Binance. Now, if you want $10 worth free Bitcoin, all you have to do is use my link in the description box below. Buy $100 worth of Bitcoin and you get $10 worth of Bitcoin free. Okay, so definitely use that. So if you jump into the app, you can have a watch list. If I jump into Bitcoin, it gives you a chart analysis. Okay, you can see how it's doing. It gives you certain stats as well, market cap, volume, how much supply there is, the activity. So all very useful information, and it is probably one of the most popular apps for cryptocurrencies. Okay, I also use Binance. Now you may be asking, why do I use Binance? The reason is there's certain cryptos you can't find on Coinbase that you can find on Binance. So for example, the Dogecoin, I use Binance to buy. And if I jump into it, you can see I've got quite a bit of Dogecoin. Okay, let's see, I've got 68,000 Dogecoins. So hopefully, I'm hoping it to go to about 0.05. And then I set out and make a nice tidy profit on that. But I've sold out all my other cryptos and took profits. If you know any apps that I've missed out, drop it in the comments below and I'll definitely go check it out.